Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a good day. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Go away. Away. All right. Hey, Ross. How are you? Going to get through this grammar lesson, which really just is reading the grammar out, and probably 1 or 2 pages of the sentences. The next 2 lessons. I'm not bad, but I am pretty sleepy. Didn't sleep super great last night. So, and it was that classic kind of like wake up in the middle of the night, kind of have a hard time fall asleep until about the time your alarm goes off, and then you're able to be asleep. And it's like, oh, just give me a few more hours. So, will not be a super long stream, but my Greek streams usually aren't. Um, but I could go for a nap. So, pronouns in polus. I'm probably gonna do that a lot. Pronouns are super important in Greek. Greek has a ton of pronouns, like a ton of them. And polus means many, so that's super important because that's a very important word to have at your disposal. So the demonstrative pronouns is what we're focusing on today. Hutos, this, and echenos, that. Hutos is actually derived from combining ho, aute, so like this very, or the very, I guess. And then it kind of became this. When you qualify a noun, you must have the article with it. Hutos ho aner, this man. Ho aner hutos, this man. Not ho autos aner. Uh, they really just don't like that because of how the words work together. The this man would be like how you would the this man. Versus this the man or the man this one. Which in the Greek mindset makes more sense. Hutos aner means this is a man. So that's without the article. Without the word the. If you have a noun and the demonstrative, you use it like a predicate. So not this man, but this is a man. St, as it says, being emitted. You can use the demonstrative pronouns independently. So just saying hutos to mean this man or echenos to mean that man, or whatever the ending signifies. The Omicron sigma is a masculine singular. The man, this man. No, it's not like the reflexive. Greek has a separate reflexive pronoun. It's just emphasis. And that's why in English we just translate as this man and not the man, this one. Because it sounds goofy in English. Alright, this is how it's declined in singular and plural. And the hardest part about the demonstrative pronouns are just how weird they look. But the reason they look weird is because, again, it's a combination of the word the and the word like self. But not like self as in himself, but just like a demonstrative-y word that's not quite as strong as this demonstrative. So the thing about Greek, you want to know what the thing about Greek is? The thing about Greek is that it has a lot of words. A lot of them. And they all have slightly different meanings, but can often sound pretty much the same in English. We're not going to worry about the other word autos, aute, as you can see, that is not the word that we are discussing right now. We'll figure that out later, I guess. But just know, etymologically, that's where it came from. There's another word, and then the word the, and it merged into this, which is probably where our English word this came from. The ist. I don't know. That was a fake etymology that I just made up for you right now. Anyway. So what is weird about this word is less the ending of the word, because the ending just follows the same adjective pattern. Omicron, sigma, eta, omicron, os, e, o, on, in, o, u, es, u, oi, a, oi. Totally normal. But you're like, how do we go from hutos to tuton? Like, how does that make sense? And why is it haute? And tautane, right? The feminine is just totally weird. And then in the neuter, we've got like tauta, and then we've got tuton, and then we got tautais, but tuton in the genitive. Why is it like this? And it's because it's from the word the. And that beginning of this word is just how the word the looks like in Greek. Ho, he, to. So that's why it looks weird. Sorry. Echenos, what about echenos? Has in the neuter nominative and accusative singular echeno, it's like tuto, and the rest is declined like kalos. I think, no, they don't include it. So echenos, echene, echeno, it's a totally normal adjectival ending except for this neuter singular, where it just has the omicron instead of an omicron nu. But the beginning of the word doesn't do weird things. It's echen throughout, so we don't have to worry about it nearly as much. Speaking of words we have to worry about, then there's polus, which is irregular. It means much and many. And sometimes it's got one lambda, sometimes it's got two. Okay. Just accept it. So, the feminine always has two lambdas. And then, I mean, essentially, if you look at it, if the ending has an upsilon, it's only got one lambda. Polus versus polu. Thanks, Greek. And I'm sure there's an etymological reason for that too. I just don't know it off the top of my head. But other than the number of lambdas and the fact that the nominative and accusative singular have an upsilon instead of an omicron, otherwise it's the same. You can just look up above. You just replace that with an un, with an on, but then u, oi, a, ain, ace, a, oi, I, ah. So it's really just these two, well, four, because there's two cases. I think they know a bit about upsilon in the lambda complex. I don't know what the lambda complex is. After an adjective used alone, we supply persons or things. All right, so this is the idea. Half-life, got it. Yeah. So adjectives can be used substantively. That's the word for it. So you can use an adjective. Let me step back for a minute. An adjective is a word that describes a noun or another adjective for that matter. But I guess it's usually an adverb though. Anyway, an adjective describes a noun. Keep it simple. In Greek, because you have endings, if you don't include the noun, you can still know what the adjective is talking about because you'll know if it's masculine, feminine, or neuter, and you'll know what case and number it is. So if you see poloi, you can know it means many men because oi is masculine, nominative, plural. So even though it just says many, we in English can say many men. I mean, we have substantive adjectives in English too. We say on behalf of the many all the time. Okay, maybe not all the time. But you can. Absolutely. Polahedea, so two adjectives there with a neuter plural ending, many sweet things. But the word for things doesn't exist. Well, I mean, it exists, but it's not in the Greek. We just supply it in the English. Although we could say many sweets, depending on the circumstance. You know, we certainly have. I ate many sweets for lunch, but sweets is kind of working as a noun there. But I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so those are how those adjectives work. They just endings. Okay. Always endings. Haima, blood. Hematology. I don't actually know if that's actually a word. I just made that up. It could be a word. Hemoglobin is definitely a word that has to do with the blood. Hematology. That's the study of blood? Hematite, the stone, the bloodstone. Yeah, okay, it is. I didn't make up that word. Good job, me. Uh, anyway, this is where we get it from. Also, anemic. Because that alpha nu at the beginning of the word anemic is called the alpha privative, which means this prefix makes the word the opposite of what it means. So, blood, not blood. If you're an anemic, you don't have enough blood or something. Your blood isn't oxygenated enough. Anyway, re, it flows. So this is a verb, reo. Reusi, they flow. Hey, Steven, how are you doing today? Hippos is horse. A lot of people know hippos. Hippopotamus, river horse. Oh, right here. That's what we're learning. Patamos, the river. Hippopotamus, river horse. Thalassa, the sea. Thalassa. You will sometimes see this written instead of with two sigmas. You will see it written with two taus, two t's. Thalata. Which is why you get the hilarious joke that requires a lot of steps to understand. So maybe one day I'll tell it on stream. Kratos. Strength, power, dominion. It's a neuter word. It means strength. Um oh yeah, so um give me a moment to say this word. Thalas thala thala thalassocracy. Thalassocracy. Probably. Rule of the sea. Rule by the sea. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't update my stream, did I? Good check. Let me go ahead and change that. Hey, channel. Oh, stream manager. I guess I could pull it up on my computer and it'd be easier, wouldn't it? But I'm committed. I'm here. All right. More Greek. I hope you can hear my cats in the background. educational. Oh, that did not add the tags I wanted you to add, but at least we've got the title updated. So, thank you. Once you have achieved naval dom I almost said dominions. Good. You can declare your I'm gonna give up on that word. For the rest of the game, get trade bonuses. Ah. It's pretty nice. That's kind of how Crete did it way back in the day. Kratos is also the main character in God of War because he's really strong, but they pronounce it wrong. They say that his name is Kratos, and I hate it. The end. Pneumon, a lung. There we go. Pneumonia, as it says there. The place where the disease in the lung. Crate OS would be completely different. Yes. You're right. Like crate isn't even a Greek word. Alright. Pantahaima tes cardias rei estas arterias. Okay, all the blood, pantahaima, flows to the arteries. And then we have the genitive here that we have to do something with. So all the blood of the heart flows to the arteries. Ekton arterion rei estas phlebas. From the arteries, we don't know what the subject is. There's no nominative here, so we'll just continue it from the previous sentence. It flows to the veins. Ekton phlebon rei estein cardian. From the veins, it flows to the heart. And ectes cardias rei estus pneumonas. And that pi nu is always a little tricky. So from the heart, it flows into the lungs. All right. That's our nice little biology lesson for the day. Hoi pneumones poiusi tuto to haima katharon kai nun esten cardian re. The lungs make this blood clean, and now it flows back to the heart. Hey, Dark! Is Greek science. Is the old science. I'm talking about blood and lungs. Tell me that's not science. Hautai. Isn't this a nice empty room? It's my office. It's got a stove. And then windows on all the sides. There's a little printer and a little desk over there. That's okay. I don't expect anybody to read Greek. Okay. And now it flows to the heart. Alright, so that's our whole circuit, I guess. Because then it goes back to the arteries. There we go. Greek biology was a lot better than a lot of people think it was. Very true. Galen and the other scientists knew lots of things. Does Punch also have an office? Punch has a basement. He just laughed at that. He says he needs more space than an office. So he has the entirety of the basement. Basically. Yeah. He likes it down there. I think. I don't know. I never see him, so I'm guessing that means he likes it. Alright. Hautai hai gunaikes poiusi Stephanus Prodon kai ion kai myrton. Oh, we've got flowers again. All right, these ladies, these ladies uh make crowns of roses and ivy, I think. Now I'm second guessing because I always do this with Eon and myrtle branches. I'm gonna go back because I always do this with Ion. And you deserve to know, you the people. Eon. No, it's gotta be Ivy. Because what the problem is, I always want to say ivory because of the new looking like a V, even though that's obviously ridiculous. But ivory is not a plant, so it's kind of the big giveaway. But maybe it's supposed to be something purple? Where'd you go? I might have skipped it. No, I'm still in flowers, so I might not have missed it. Iris. It's not what I want. I want Eon. Eon! No. Okay. I will show you guys a new resource instead. Since, I'm dumb, and this will be a good resource to have. Alright, Dark! Thank you. You have a fairly large room too, not a basement, but still way bigger than I need, technically. Well, sure. I mean, this office is bigger than I technically need. I don't use 2/3 of it, but here we are. Alright, and sometimes you get to see my cats in the background, so that makes it worth it. Alright, what? Woodhouse. Woodhouse Greek Dictionary. Okay, here we go. The Woodhouse Greek Dictionary from 1910, which is searchable. It's not like perfectly searchable, I'm sure. I'm sure it's not. I mean, they've got all these kind of things like punctuation and spacing much match entries exactly. Uppercase, blah 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 blah. So it's a thing, but nevertheless, let's search for ivy. So then it just takes me to this page that has been scanned of the dictionary, and it is an English to Greek dictionary. So ivy is kisos, so I was wrong. It is something purple. So it is going to be. What is the purple flower? Purple. Violet! Yes. That's absolutely what it is. No, that is not. That is. That was the right level. Violet, Eon. That was the exact right level of obvious. Because all I was coming up with was like lavender. It's like, it's not lavender. We've definitely not discussed that. Anyway, so Woodhouse English to Greek dictionary is great. Especially if you're doing English to Greek and not Greek to English. But I just find it so much easier to search also than necessarily using one of the ones where you have to input Greek, because inputting Greek can be a little finicky itself, what with accents and everything. So Woodhouse is a nice, friendly resource. Take me to your header. It's not like, I get it. Your office is the entire internet. and beyond. So it's not just the planet, right? It'd be satellites and stuff too. Right. In te thalase echene, hola ketea kaetheria octopoda est. All right. In that sea, I guess this is these ladies. I might have said that, those ladies. Um, these ladies in that sea, echene, there are, SD, many monsters and octopus creatures. Octopus wild creatures. I don't know if they wanted like another comma there or another and. If they wanted whales, I guess. Ketea, sea monsters. And wild monsters and octopuses? Octopi? Any of these are actually kind of acceptable. Octopode is my favorite, but Pantes hoi potamoi reusen eistain megalane thalassen. All the rivers flow into the Great Sea, the Mediterranean. Octopodes! Octopodes and squids are not the same. Squids would probably be Ketea. The whales slash monsters. I don't know if they have a separate word for squid or not. Alright. Hoi hippoi hutoi legusin ekenon ton denon leonta. These horses flee that terrible lion. Makes sense. Hexadecapedus. Yeah, that'd be 16. You're right. Hey tigris, haute ephage tain sarka tu onu ekenu. This tiger ate the flesh of that mule. Hutos ha pais ephage ta mela tu dendru ekenu. This child ate the apples, the fruits of that tree. It would be a ton of tentacles. Because 216 would be 32, right? Too many tentacles. O basileus eche, mega kratos, kai pempe polus andras, ek tautein tein thalasan. The king has great power and sends many men into that sea. Now, I presume he's sending them in a boat out to sea. But technically, he could just be sending them to walk into the sea. That'd be weird. But maybe. Alright. Oh, the home. That's pleasant. Let's do one more chapter. Well, one more lesson. After about 2 of them, you would just say Hydra. But a Hydra is its heads, not its legs. Do we know that, Roz? I don't know. Maybe they can turn into boats. Alright. Oikos. A house. Like the word economy. Rule of the house. Nomos meaning law, rule, custom. I don't think we're getting that word yet. But true, I don't know of a leg thing. Oh, wait, nomos. It's right here. Duh. Nomos, law, custom, regulation. So oikos and nomos, economy. Yeah, because the oi becomes an e over the years, so economy. All right. Oh, here we go. Oikonomia, management of the house, where we get the word economy. Often the oikonomia was the wife's responsibility. Domos, the house, right? Domicile, yada yada. Doma, another word for house. Domicile, yada yada yada. Basically the same word. I mean, not, but probably not going to trip you up. Cathedra, a seat. So, officials or the Pope can speak ex cathedra from his chair. Uh, it's also used, this is always weird, but like if you have like a board or like a formal organizational structure, certain officers of like a company serve certain roles ex cathedra from their chair. Um, like by rule of that position that they have, they are involved in this other thing. Caminos, an oven, furnace. Sorry, not furnace. Don't see that very often. Don't see chimney very often in Greek. Kamara, a vaulted chamber. Chamber. Wood. Yeah, these are words I'm not really familiar with. I guess when you're reading Thucydides, they don't talk about the furnace very much. Dieta, a way of living, your diet. Right? It's again kind of more of like your habit, like your daily routine. Platus, broad or flat. The word plate, and of course, Australians in the chat. Platypus, flatfoot. Bouturon, butter. I don't think I've ever seen that word in Greek, and I'm very happy that I have now. Bouturon, the thing from the cow. Cow cheese. Cow cheese. I don't know if turon in ancient Greek means cheese, but in modern Greek, like a pteropida is a cheese pastry thing. But bous is definitely cow. Yeah, like I said, I don't actually know that turon in ancient Greek means cheese. But now I really want Greek food. Oh my goodness. I don't know that there's a good Mediterranean place like anywhere near me. All right. I'll move on now. That's true. It does distinguish it from goat cheese. Should be like Eichstudon. Anthrax. Don't want to say that too loud. Coal. Just means coal. Okay. Corinthos. Corinth. That's the name of a place. This is one of the words that it is in Greek. But the new theta, that sound together, the nth, that is not a native Greek sound. So the place name actually comes from pre-Greek people that the Greeks then kept. Yeah, let's see what that has to do with Courant. It was first imported from Corinth. Here we go. Now, granted, that might just be because Corinth is a port town and has a, big, lots of water and all that kind of stuff. So it might not be like from Corinth as much as, from somewhere else and then known for coming from Corinth in terms of a port. Yeah, it's a big port town, center of trade thing. Indeed. Just like Maltese dogs. So they are called Maltese, um, but just because Malta was a big, well, is, an island with lots of shipping and people coming to and fro. So the dogs themselves were not from Malta, but it just kind of became associated with something you would get or see in Malta. I learned that from a student of mine who was from Malta. All right. Plastos. Plastos è un plaster, molded. Yep, plastic. Uh, balas, balaustion. The pomegranate flower? I didn't even know the pomegranate had a flower, to be quite honest. I've only seen, the fruit used as an ornament for tops of railing pillars. That makes sense where we get the word balustrade from. Okay. Is a pomegranate flower like, is it more impressive than I think it is? Let's look at some images. Because when I think of pomegranates, I just think of, this little bit. I was like, what does it look like on a actual thing? Yeah, I'm guessing it just means this little bit. I mean, I completely believe that pomegranates are hand grenades. Look at them. I didn't know they got so big. These little funky bits. Funky bits. I know what the word is for it now. Balastrion. No, Balaustion. Balaustion. Now I know what that little funky bit is called. And now I want to put some pomegranates. And oinos, wine. That's a super important word. Um, the word wine comes from the word wine. Oinos. It probably used to have a digamma in it or something. I mean, pomegranates are definitely way bigger and way heavier. That hard shell, if you threw that at somebody, it hurt a lot more than a lemon. All right, so agathe he oikonomia pasin andrasi kai gunaiksi. Uh, the good economy, the good household management. Oh, okay, I see what we're doing here. We have omitted the verb to be, and because we have placed the adjective outside of the article noun pairing, uh, we are to use the adjective in the predicate, meaning the second part of the sentence. So, household management is good for all men and women. Good moral lesson for you today. Hutoi ho hoi anthropoi ekusi kalus nomos. These men have good customs. Beautiful customs, in fact. Kalos. Entais camarais tu domatos olai cathedrai esin. So in the rooms, which one was camara? Chambers, yeah, okay. In the chambers of the house are many chairs. Okay, good. Hutos ha pais ugehe buturon ente diaite ude oinon. This child does not have butter in his diet, nor wine. Gotta have butter in your diet. Come on, you're Greek, you're Mediterranean, but I guess, like, they really prefer olive oil in terms of, like, cooking stuff. Um, so the butter here is really probably just a soft cheese, um, which also sounds really good. Right. Holoi anthrakes ente kaminoi essen. Many coals are in the chimney. It was chimney, right? Furnace. Sorry. We get the word chimney from it, but it is a furnace. Okay. Pempusin ektain Corinthu. I just said tain. Oh my goodness. Ektes Corinthu pola hedea kai oinon. They send from Corinth many sweets and wine. True enough. Yeah, right? Good thing I'm gonna have dinner after this. Akene he camera esti platea kai plaste polois bala balaustiois. That chamber is flat and molded with many balustrades, pomegranate flowers. Sure. It's a weird description, but I get the idea. It's a big flat room and it has these pomegranate embellishments. Haute hegune eche paidas kai koras in toi domoi. This lady has children, boys and girls, in the home. Okay, fair enough. All right, now that I have sufficiently made myself hungry, gonna go get punch and have some dinner. Next time we will do this long one. Oh, because we've got a little passage. Next time we'll do some more home and personal stuff. Personal and social. Yeah, that seems fun. So we'll just keep it up every week, and I'm sure I'll see some more as I work through Fantasian. It might be a few days before I get back to that, because I do have a few odds and ends to take care of first. But uh, for now, thanks everybody for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you later.